Alright, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and get into a contest here and make this really fast because we're running out of time here. I'm going to enter into a contest. I'm going to show you exactly how I go about my thought process in doing so here in right about 10 minutes or less. The reason being is only because on the NFL contest, it is Thursday night, and so I just wanted to enter into this because it looks interesting to get into one of these. They call it a super contest here right now, so I'm just trying to look for that right now, so bear with me. Okay, so I found it here. It's just a 25 cent to enter, $50 top prize, so not a lot of risk. Since there's in this scenario, we're not looking at a lot of time here. As it shows, it indicates I'm going to enter a new lineup, and it'll show the time here, of course, allow. So it's going to be super fast to go through this, but at least you get an idea of right now how exactly I would get into a contest in 10 minutes flat without really knowing exactly everything going on, because there's a lot of other things with other contests and sports also going on right now. So I'll show you how I would get in to enter into, because there's obviously not enough time to prepare as you would like for a regular Sunday tournament or something like that, or a cash game. So right now the clock is ticking, about 8 minutes here. So we got to decide fast who we want in order to get into a contest such as this. So thought it'd be cool to show you guys. So I'm going to just start by looking at really quick the browse teams lines for now. You can do this also on Rotos Grinders, recommended to do so, and look for the high scoring games and where I can get. I'm especially looking for home teams this week. There's a few teams that I want to stay away from that have been on the road a couple weeks. So those are some of the very first things I look at. As far as even looking at waiver wire players, just to get an idea, according to price, maybe I could go to here real quick to Fantasy Sports and just look at a waiver wire like in my particular league that I play on. Is only to give me an idea of some of the cheap, value plays that we can look at, that we can save a lot of money on our roster and do those type of things. So players, as far as seeing who's out there and readily available and maybe fairly low owned, as we can try to pick up some of these guys, okay? But I'm just looking for some of the higher scoring point totals. We're getting towards playoff season here. So I'm just looking for anything right now that's like about 45 points and above to get a high scoring, feel. As the Falcons are favored here, even though they're away, but they're not one of those teams I'm really worried about, going on the road. They're better than the Buccaneers, so we're fine with that. We could do a stack or something there. Just looking for another game, such as the Chiefs at home. That's pretty good. They've been doing well lately, so we'll just try to keep these in the back of our mind for now. Dallas, at the Raiders, so that's another one. We're going to try to pick and stack from these games in particular. So just breezing through here really quick. The Jets at the Saints. So the Saints would be fine to take there, favored by 16 points. Let's see. The Packers away. We're not taking any Packers, but the Panthers I'm looking at. I'm just having a feeling they'll dominate this game. Rodgers won't be so great coming back. That's just what I feel and think. If you feel differently, go with what you feel. And the highest scoring game here, Patriots not looking good. They were away as well last week. The Steelers, I'm surprised, are not favored in this game. So I'm going to go with the Steelers because the Patriots have been on the road as well a couple games. So that looks like the highest to me, in my opinion. the highest scoring team of the week, the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? So just making sure there's anything else. Also, the Seahawks at home favored. A lot of points in that game. So we get a good idea now, estimation of what we want to do, what goals we want to accomplish there according to the teams. So we're running out of time, right? How much time we got here? 5 minutes. Okay, so let's go. Get a good idea of value plays here on the site as far as who's available right now. Best, most fancy points. I'll just order these up in order. Especially if you don't have the draft optimizer, you know, you got to go with what you know right here. So let's see. Kenny Stills is on the waiver wire. So we could consider and go with somebody like him, but they're playing in cold weather, so let's not in Buffalo. Frank Gore is okay, but we need more upside from any particular running back. Jonathan Stewart, Matt Forte. I'm not seeing anybody I like here. Maybe Tarek Cohen at Detroit, though, and it's not one of the high-scoring games we're looking at. Tyrell Williams at Kansas City, maybe we could go with him. He had a good game last week if he can stay hot. And surprisingly, hey, Jay Ajayi, the Eagles, but they're on the road a couple games in a row. I'm not crazy about that. I'm really not crazy about not liking too many of these players at all on this waiver wires, trying to find any deals, you know, bottom of the barrel type players, except, here we go, Martavis Bryant. That's what we're looking for right there. So Martavis Bryant, we'll start to stack that right away. Okay. Let's look to our particular matchup here. Where's the Pittsburgh matchup? We got all, this is cool about this, we got all the games on the slate, 16 games. All right, so here's Bryant. See, Juju Smith-Schuster's got a hamstring problem. That's breaking news, so guess what? If Martavis Bryant can go off, we'll win. So looking for the stack, right? As the highest scoring, you know, implied team point total, in my opinion. But I'm going to go ahead and go to try to see, you know, straight to the optimizer for the quarterbacks, just to see if it, you know, confirm if it looks like a good matchup for like Roethlisberger, which it does. He's very highly ranked here, 27th, you know, worst pass defense in the league. So you can put him in. Great. And so as you can see here, we're already confirming and stacking with this particular team, as I will also do with Brown and go with him here. And I figured to save myself a bit of money there. But as for like a lowly or, you know, I guess a low-owned defense, let's try to figure out somebody real quick here. Defense. And just looking at my clock, I've got 2 minutes now. So I got to go fast. We got the Rams. Yeah, at Seattle. We've got, so these are some lowly owned potential where we could, you know, come out on top on this tournament. The Bears, Tampa Bay. Let's go with the Rams. Defense. So I could get them out of the way and picked out. Rams, where are you? Defense. Here we go. Cheap too. Now we can go kind of expensive as we want, running backs and so forth, because we're saving a lot of money. So I'm not going to stack too much. Le'Veon, I'll leave him alone. New Orleans we like. Of course, always Kamara. As much as we can get of him, right? We got to get a kicker in there. From a high-scoring team, I prefer Boswell to continue the Pittsburgh stack. Let's look at another guy. Let's say a wide receiver from one of those teams we were considering. I really like this as one of those high-scoring matchups. Let's go with Keenan Allen in that particular game. We got 48:50 left in less than a minute here, so we'll go ahead and pick and choose running back and tight end. 4,800 range, 4,700. You just need a player that's going to score a touchdown real quick. Or given a chance to. Oh, here we go. Trey Burton. If what's his name? Ertz is not in, bingo. You got a highly prized player there. And then running back, see what we can afford left over. Okay, so here we go in the fantasy zone. We're going to pick up to finish off. Patriots got to throw to James White, right? As a decent play here. If there's anyone else we can consider, there's no more time. So that's it. Because I stopped to look at the clock, I didn't get him in on time. So that's what can happen. So unfortunately, I didn't make it by seconds. This would have been my lineup though, but so that you get the idea of entering into a contest like this, I would have liked to have seen how this would have done, but unfortunately, that's now lost. But you know, if there was more time, you can look at and fit in some of these stud players. You could look here, and you got some different options to look at as far as consistent performance this week. I chose well there with Antonio Brown as a number show, Keenan Allen, and I really think that would have been a stud lineup and dominating as well. So that's what I do and feel for now. As if you can look to at the end of the course of the weekend and figure these players will do well, which I believe, then you'll see the results from that. All right, so that's all I have there. As Ertz, what's his concussion? Clear protocol, expected to suit up. So it may have not been favorable in that way, but this shows the optimal values of these particular players on Fanduel. So just wanted to show you that, guys, and how to go about doing that. Thanks a lot for watching.